Don't know if this goes in /fit or /x. Whatevs, here's the story. It's a fucking long one, but bear with me. Friend not in the story tells us about a place to get palm readings. Lifting buddy and I go get palms read. Show up to this shady ass place at 10 in the morning wearing our workout gear. Ghost bitch is already Myron. Stereotypical scraggly gypsy woman shakes her hands and seats us at the table with a crystal ball. Asks who wants to go first. Hispanic heritage kicks in and I nope at the last minute. Friend chads up to the plate. Woman grabs his hand. He flexes slightly. Woman goes from smiling to horrified. Starts grabbing and studying his hand like a last will. Feeling weird, man. Tells my friend he's got something following him. Ask me if he did any Ouija voodoo bullshit. Says he smashed a hole in the wall when he was drunk lifting at home. Says there was some kind of decorative skull behind it that he now uses as a decoration in his bedroom. Gypsy lets us leave without paying. At the gym 30 minutes later, spotting friend Willie benches. Some newbie dumbass is curling next to us. No joke, like 6 inches away from us. Dude slips and swings a 20 he's holding at friend's head. Throws the bar up and ducks just in time. Almost impale myself trying to catch the bar. Newbie apologizing while friend gets back up and I'm shitting myself still. Tell friend he should go home. Friend looks unfazed and wants to continue. Leave to Abdullah's sister's house to get some sage and silver. Go back to the gym and give it to friend. Next day. Friend looks happier than normal. Tells me some shit went down at his house. Says the power was dead, even though the bills were paid and the rest of the neighborhood had power. Heard rattling of silverware. Used flashlight up to see. Saw a silhouette of someone crawl under the kitchen counter. Nothing under the counter. Not even shelves. Friend doesn't believe in Ouija shit and believes it to be an intruder or an animal. Friend grabs his pull-up bar and gets ready for some sweet /fit justice. Yells obscenities while patrolling his house. Says he sees what looks like a small humanoid crouched in his weight room. Gives 0 fucks and tosses the pull-up bar at the window. Shudders like the lank kneecap squatting. Thing nowhere in sight. Friend then starts to consider Ouija shit. Calls the other friend for advice. Our lifting group has some odd characters. Johnny answers and tells him to burn the sage and carry the silver. Says he'll be by with some holy water. Drops it off. I'll call my grandmother tomorrow to help. She's one of the medium people. Friend sits down on his couch while the house smells like old. Watches American Dad. Looks at Sage. Dried up and out. Goes to his pocket for the silver. Fucking melted. Instead of warm, it was cold. Starting to see something dart back and forth across the room. TV goes off and static comes on. Says high-pitched screaming fills the house. Friend gets mildly annoyed. Walks over to the weight room and smashes the skull against the wall in a fluid motion. Like, imagine walking into a room, tripping over a vase, then going back to doing what you were doing. He did that, except threw a skull against the wall. Says the house shook. Screaming got higher, then stopped. Lights go off again. Hear numerous footsteps getting closer to him. Tells me he's mildly freaked out at this point. I'm very concerned that he said mildly. Says that he doused himself in holy water and started swinging as hard as he could into the darkness. Only hears the wind breaking his fists. Says he heard the footsteps getting further away from him. Screams, "No! Ah!" Starts running around his house and swinging in the darkness. Fucks up his living room in the process. Tells me he swears he made contact with something fleshy a few times. Doesn't remember falling asleep. Wakes up and goes to gym to tell me this the next day. Friend goes outside to make frequent calls through his routines. Ask him if he's trying to get in touch with a priest. Tells me he's been calling his home phone and leaving angry voice messages for the ghosts. Sighs he would buy a snake and just flatten it out with a rolling pin until it dies. Friend goes home again. Fast forward a few days. Looks completely normal. Ask Johnny if lifting buddy was alright. Tells me it's disturbing how well he's handling the situation. Says he went to lifting buddy's house to check up on the stitch. Feels a presence, but it feels scared. Wiping his ass with an Ouija board towel. Throws it on the floor and kicks it into the living room. Pours more holy water on it and then takes it outside to burn it. Ask friend if he is hungry. Sure. Says he pulls out an open Ouija board he bought at Spencer's and uses it like a fucking cutting board. Says he repeatedly stabbed the cutting knife into the board when he was not using it. Breaks the board in half after he's done chopping up the tomatoes and throws it in the trash. Washes his hands and then pisses in the trash can. Even I think this is disrespecting the spirits too much. We both ate grilled chicken salad and then Johnny leaves. Says on the way out, lifting buddy goes into the lifting room and puts another crucifix on the wall. I'm putting Jesus on this wall, and I'll be back to fucking masturbate on my bench while thinking about Lucifer's whore daughter. Punches hole in the wall before leaving. Johnny calls his Abula that night. Abula goes to Lifting Buddy's house with the priest the next day. Says her Abula and the priest were also amazed/disturbed with how Lifting Buddy is fighting the situation. Priest actually cowered and admired Lifting Buddy's pissing naked on the satanic Bible he bought at some shady bookstore. Tells Priest he walks around a lot lately and talks shit about Satan. Priest leaves before cleansing. Abula stays to do a medium thing. Tries to contact the spirits. Says there was a group of entities that were very pissed that their shrine was disturbed. Tells her that they have no power since Lifting Buddy isn't remotely scared of anything they've done. Lifting Buddy walks back into the weight room with a dead snake. Abula says the entities scatter like roaches. Check out what I found on the street this morning. Takes a bite out of apple. A fucking dead snake. Throws the snake on the floor. Puts holy water and salt on it. Kicks it into the carpet a few times before peeling it off and throwing it into the trash can in the kitchen. Abula is what the fucking at this man's mental strength or ignorance. Tries to contact the spirits again. They keep running from her. Finally talks to one. Says they are scared of Lifting Buddy. Ghosts are scared of my bulky friend. Abula asks what could make them pass on. Says that they did some black magic to get revenge on some arsehole landlord from way back when. Says they had some incriminating shit to shame his family within the wall with a skull. Abula tells Lifting Buddy what he needs to do. Lifting Buddy goes into the weight room. Makes the hole in the wall bigger by throwing a 15 through the wall. Finds a folder with records of some shit. I'm not lying about any of this, I swear, and especially this next part. Lifting Buddy flips through the papers and then wipes his balls with it. Abula horrified. Crumbles them up and then throws them into the corner of the room. Tells the spirits to piss off, then punches another hole in the wall. Total 13 holes at this point. Abula says, "May God have mercy," in Spanish, and then leaves. Goes back to Lifting Buddy's house a month later. Immediately goes to the weight room. More holes than wall. Destroyed as fuck. But, like Halo descending from the heavens, the bench pressing and the squatting rack are still there. Tries to contact spirits. Nothing. Smiles and asks friend if he did what needed to be done. Again, not lying about any of this. Tells Abula he crumpled up the papers and then got the address of this bastard. Papers were only from 60 years ago, so the guy was still alive, just old as dust. Finds the address of this guy on some sort of mansion. Knocks on the door, wearing a Get Swole You Must Star Wars Yoda tank top, board shorts, pink sunglasses, a backwards Chicago Bull snapback. Johnny said Lifting Buddy went to a lot of detail about his wardrobe for this. Some scrawny white guy in his mid-30s opens the door. Lifting Buddy holds the papers and asks for the person in the paper's name. "Hey, Dad! Someone's here for you! He has documents!" Lifting Buddy lets himself in and finds the old man in his studies. "Who are you?" Notices the papers. "Where did you get that?" Old man tries to grab at the papers. Lifting Buddy punches the old man in the face. Dentures fly out. Says it was like some shit out of a movie. Crouches in his face and sets the old man straight Sherlock Holmes style. Guy's son runs and jumps on the Lifting Buddy's back. Lifting Buddy stops mid-sentence. Lets the guy down. Then gut punches him until he hobbles out of the from and pukes in the hallway. Tells the old man to set shit right here or we'll be back for blood. Leaves. Fast forward a couple of days. Various cars outside Lifting Buddy's house. Thinks the old man bought some friends and grabs a pull-up bar. Walks outside in his tank top and house shorts. Various families are thanking him and giving him some cooked foods. Thank him for getting their grandparents' properties back. The documents are apparently deeds swindled out by the old man. Families say the whole, "We'll never forget you" spiel and leave. A friend looks into the Tupperware. Nothing but calories and carbs. Cookies, biscuits, gumbo. Throws it all away and goes back to lifting in his weight room. Pick for shot.